Good afternoon. ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ವೈಸ್ ರಿವಿಷನ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆದ 1 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ 2 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಪಾಸಿಂಗ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಂ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಪಾಸಿಂಗ್ ಗೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ಫುಲ್ ಆಗಲಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ರಿವಿಷನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. ಹಂಗಾದ್ರೆ ಸೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿಯನ್ನ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ವೈ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಲುಕಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ ಆಲ್ಟರ್ನೇಟಿವ್ ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಅಂತ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳಿದ. ಇದನ್ನ ಹೀಗೂ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು ಅಥವಾ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಲುಕಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ ಆಲ್ಟರ್ನೇಟಿವ್ ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ 2 ರೀಸನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತಾನೂ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು, ಅಥವಾ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಎನಿ 2 ಅಡ್ವಾಂಟೇಜಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಡಿಸ್ಅಡ್ವಾಂಟೇಜಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೋಲಾರ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್. ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸೆಪರೇಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಇದು, ಇರ್ಲಿ ಇದರಲ್ಲೇ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಹಂಗಾರೆ reasons to looking alternative source of energy. We look alternative source of energy because the conventional source of energy like fossil fuels are in danger of getting exhausted soon. Conventional source of energy are non-renewable and limited reserves. Conventional source of energy are causing air pollution, health hazards and environmental imbalance. ಓಕೆ, ಇದೇನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆರ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಅಂತ ಏನ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಇತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್. ಇನ್ ಅಡ್ವಾಂಟೇಜಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೋಲಾರ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್. ಸೋಲಾರ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ನೋ ಮೂವೇಬಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಹೆನ್ಸ್ need no maintenance, no need of a maintenance. Solar cells can be set up in remote and inaccessible areas also. Solar cells directly convert solar energy into electric energy. If you write any 2 points, sufficient for 2 marks. Next, disadvantages of solar cells. The installation cost of a solar cells is very high. Solar cells do not work during a night or cloudy or rainy days. The efficiency is very low. Okay. Energy transformation takes place at hydroelectric power plants or thermal power plants. Hydroelectric power plant, at electric power plant, the potential energy of water is first converted into kinetic energy, which is then converted into electric energy. In thermal power stations, here chemical energy of a coal is converted into heat energy, which is further changed into electric energy. Next, one reason due to which most of the thermal power plants are set up near oil or coal fields. The transmission of electricity is easier and more efficient than transporting coal and petroleum over the same distance. Therefore, many power plants are set up near coal or oil fields. Explain why the energy contained in the fossil fuels can be considered to be the sun's energy. 1 more question, sir. It is understood that fossil fuels are obtained from remains of animals and plants under the earth over a period of million years. Those animals and plants existed and grew due to the sun's energies. Thus, the ultimate source of a fossil fuels can be considered to be the sun's energy. Out of two solar cookers, one was covered with a plain glass slab and other was left open. Which of the two solar cookers will be more efficient and why? The solar cooker which was covered with a plain glass slab would be more efficient. The glass lid allow the heat radiation from the sun to enter the solar cooker, but does not allow reflected heat radiation to go outside the box. Hence, it increases heat inside the box. Food is cooked very quickly compared to open box. What is biomass? Name the reaction that takes in biogas plant. Give reasons to justify biogas is an ideal gas. Animal or plant wastes are called biomass. Animal and plant wastes are called as biomass. Reaction takes place in biogas plant is anaerobic decomposition with the help of anaerobic bacteria. Biogas is an ideal gas because it burns without smoke. Its heating capacity is high. The slurry left behind is used as an excellent manure. Safe and efficient method of waste disposal. Cooker creates a greenhouse effect. Glass sheet has a property that allows the infrared radiations of a shorter wavelength from the sun get in the device, but does not allow the reflected infrared rays of longer wavelength to leave the solar heating device. Which metal is used to connect various solar cells? Silver is used to connect various environmental pollution caused by burning of fossil fuels. use of smokeless appliances, afforestation. Name the two countries other than India where power plants based on geothermal energy operational. Many geothermal power plants are operational in countries such as New Zealand, United States of America. Next question. What is the main constituent of biogas? How is biogas obtained from biomass? Write any two advantages of using this gas. The main constituent of biogas is methane, 75%. Biogas is obtained by anaerobic decomposition of biomass in a biogas plant. The two advantages of using this gas: it burns without smoke, its heating capacity is high, okay, and another one, it's about very cheap, okay, affordable. It's a very affordable. We can prepare with the help of waste materials. Name any two nutrients that the spent slurry has in the biogas plant. Nitrogen and phosphorus. They are rich in nitrogen and phosphorus. That's why they are good manure for soil. The dams can be constructed hilly terrains like a places. Justify the statement or mention the problems associated with construction of a big dams. Two more questions, sir. Construction of a big dams have a certain problems. Okay, large areas of agricultural land and human habitations get submerged. Large ecosystems are destroyed. It creates the problem of rehabilitation of displaced people. Rotten vegetation gives rise to large amount of a greenhouse gas called methane. Okay, they asked R type question, but it's not R type. The dams can be constructed in hilly terrains like a places. Justify. This is a different question, and mention the problems associated with construction of big. This question is different. Okay, simply the right R type. Then the dams can be constructed hilly terrains like a places because whenever the in between hilly places, if we start to construct means we can able to store large amount of water and construction cost reduces, okay, and we can able to store what thousands to acres of water in downward places because hilly is a high region. Then we can able to store a large amount of water in between those hilly regions. So what the dams can be constructed in hilly terrains like a places. Example our Almaty. What stored what large amount of water because of that only. Okay. The next. Name any two elements that are used in fabricating solar cells. Silicon. Okay. Now also we cannot able to get a pure silicon. Whatever the silicon, 90% pure silicon is that only used in solar cells. That's why they produce a very least amount of electricity. But whenever we get 100% silicon, pure silicon, then whatever the potential difference we have nowadays they are available from solar cells, it increases. And what to connect the silicon cells, we use silver. Okay, both these are what highly cost effective materials. What is the working principle of nuclear reactor? A nuclear reactor works on the principle of sustaining, okay, self-sustaining fission chain reaction. Uranium, polonium, thorium, these undergoes a fission reaction. They produce a fission fragments with the liberation of neutrons. Again, those neutrons carry the further reaction, fission reaction, and large amount of heat and light produced. That heat and light is used to boil the water. Whatever the steam is produced, that steam is passed to the turbines, and turbine rotates and produces electricity. What are the hazards of nuclear power generation? Hazards of nuclear power. These are what disadvantages of nuclear power generation. Improper nuclear waste storage and disposal results environmental contamination. There is a risk of accidental leakage of a nuclear radiation. Nuclear power plant installation cost is high. Limited availability of nuclear fuels. That's a uranium in our country. Very least amount of uranium available. That's why we import uranium from USA. Explain the process of production of biogas in biogas plant. Working of a biogas plant. Dung, it's a cow dung or buffalo dung. Dung and domestic waste are mixed with water in the mixing tank. It is called as slurry. The slurry so obtained is fed into the digester. Gradually, anaerobic fermentation sets in the biogas is produced. When the pressure of the gas inside the dome of a biogas plant increases, it starts to pushing the slurry into the outlet. Biogas can be taken out by spinning the gas valve. List 84 disadvantages of using fossil fuels. Disadvantages of using fossil fuels. Fossil fuels are non-renewable source of energy. It causes air pollution. It causes acid rain by releasing oxides of sulfur and nitrogen. It releases greenhouse gas carbon dioxide. Takes a millions of years to formation of a fossil fuels. These are the what disadvantages of fossil fuels. Write the steps involved in generating electricity in a nuclear reactor. Steps involved in generating electricity in nuclear reactor. Large amount of atoms like uranium or plutonium are bombarded with slow moving neutrons. This is the first one. Large atoms break and release lots of heat energy. This heat is used to boil a water to steam. This steam rotates the turbine which produces electricity. Already I explained for you in short. Technological inputs to improve the efficiency of the fuels are necessary. Give any two examples to justify this statement. When wood is burnt in limited supply of oxygen, charcoal is produced. This is comparatively smokeless and higher higher heat generation capacity. Cow dung is decomposed in the absence of oxygen to give a biogas in a biogas plant, which is an excellent fuel. Write the limits of wind energy. Limits of wind energy. It acquires a large area of land. Initial cost of establishment is high. They need a high level of maintenance to protect tower and blades from vagaries of natural like rain, storm, cyclones, floods. From these, they want to protect. Name any two energy sources that you would consider to be renewable. Give reasons for your choices. Solar energy and wind energy are renewable source of energy. Renewable source of energy are available abundant in nature. They are regularly responsive, replenished, but regenerated by a natural process. Give the name of two energy sources that you would consider to be exhaustible. Fossil fuels like coal and petroleum are exhaustible. Non-renewable energy sources have limited reserves in nature, take millions of years to formation of a fossil fuels. List any four characteristics of good source of energy. How can the burning of fossil fuels cause acid rain? Characteristic of good source of energy are which would do a large amount of work per unit time, be easily accessible, be easy to store and transport, they are economical. When fossil fuels are burned, they release a nitrogen and sulfur oxides into the atmosphere which contribute formation of mirrors all the incident light it to energy full enough to cook a food. Important source of energy powered hydropower plants. Due to gravitational pull of the moon on the spinning earth, the level of the sea rises and falls. Volatile liquid like ammonia is used to obtain electricity from ocean thermal energy. Energy sources that can be regenerated are called renewable source of energy. Biogas is an excellent fuel as it contains up to 75% of a methane. The conventional source of energy, fossil fuels, thermal power plant, hydro power plants, biomass, wind energy. These are what conventional source of energy. Alternative or non-conventional source of energy, solar energy, energy from sea, that's tidal energy, wavelength, ocean thermal energy, geothermal energy, nuclear energy. Okay, these are the very important points related to sources of energy. I think compared to electricity, compared to control and coordination, compared to say heredity and evolution, I think they given more energy crisis or management of our resources like these chapters, whatever are there, we have to not give more preference. Why? Because on those chapters, 1 or 2 marks questions only will come. That's why. Okay, electricity, light. Okay, then electric effect of a magnetic current or whatever the life process, control and coordination, evolution and heredity. Like these chapters are important for your exam. Okay, hopefully these videos are helpful for you. If you feel helpful, then share, subscribe to your friends. Thank you.